Welcome back to another edition of Real Talk Sports. As always, I'm your host, Valencia King. Alongside me is none other than Rafael Barlowe. How you doing? How you feel?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing just dandy. Now, I wish I could say the same for our beloved Dallas Mavericks, who tonight fell to the New York Knicks. Now, both teams going into tonight's game were 2-6. But right now, Mavs are 2-7. Knicks are 3-6. Both teams still looking to get back to 500 and maybe even above 500. We're just at 9 games into the season for both teams, so it's still early. Time is still left for them to advance and get better. And we're actually going to go into the Knicks locker room and talk to a couple of the players about how they can use this momentum of a win tonight and kind of build from there. Now, one of the players you got a chance to talk to tonight was Noah. Just kind of tell us about Noah. I know you kind of were talking to him about this new experience with the Knicks.
Yeah, Noah's kind of bounced around a little bit in the league. He was a lottery pick, so he had high expectations as a rookie. I think this is his 4th team. He was in Charlotte, Portland, Chicago. So one of the questions I wanted to ask him was, how is this different? How is the situation different for him? And just about the overall experience with the Knicks and being on another young team.
Yeah, just like you said, it's a young team, so you'll actually get a chance to hear that interview that Rafi did with Noah. Check it out.
You seem to have found a home here in New York. Can you speak about the experience with New York and how things are different for you this year compared to in the years past?
It's been great so far. I mean, being here with this team, it's a young team. A lot of the guys on the roster are around the same age as myself. Getting real comfortable here. Coach Fizz has let me play free, be real versatile within the offense, and just being on both ends of the floor. On defense, being able to switch 1 through 5. It's just great. I feel comfortable over here, and I hope to be here for a while.
You mentioned playing free. Can you give an example of what's different with Fizz's system than in past?
I mean, it's positionless basketball. Just being able to shoot the basketball, shoot the three, get the rebound, push it, create actions for my teammates, create opportunities to score for myself. It's just more free-flowing.
You've been on young teams in Portland and Chicago and Charlotte. What is different about this group? I noticed a lot of guys were together during the summertime. Can you speak on that experience?
Yeah, it's been this group is different from the other groups I've been around. We're more of a tight-knit group. We've been training together, playing pickup since the beginning of August, and that translated to training camp. We're already we meshed well together. We were kind of comfortable just from getting that preseason pickup and stuff like that. And yeah, that's really about it.
With the Knicks coming into the Dallas Maverick arena tonight, I got a chance to catch up with a former Real Talk Sports rookie highlight in Damyean Dotson. Now, if you guys weren't following me last season, because I know we have a couple of new fans, a couple of people that are here for Rafi, so hey y'all, how y'all doing? But last season I did an NBA East Coast trip where the Knicks were one of the teams that I covered. And like I said, I talked to Damyean, not just about the rookie experience, but also about the vets on the team as well. So check the description box down below. That interview will be linked there. But tonight, I got a chance to hear how he prepared for a second year in the NBA now that he has some time under his belt, because there's a difference between your rookie year and your second year, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. He's made the most of his opportunity right now. He's playing due to Courtney Lee being out, but he's been able to provide a spark offensively. He's shooting the ball well, and one of the things that he's done exceptionally well for the Knicks is crash the glass. I know he's one of the best rebounding wings in the league as far as rebounds per minute. Yeah. So he's definitely providing a spark and a lot of the toughness that David Fizdale likes to see out of his players.
And if the coach likes to see it and you're doing it, it's going to get you more minutes on the court. Check out the interview. Just talk to me about how you were able to approach this season having one season full under your belt.
Came with experience. The summer was big for me because all the coaches was there the whole summer. And we was all together the whole summer. So I think we was building that chemistry, and I think it's showing.
Tim mentioned when Lance talks, everyone listens. Just talk about his role as a veteran, especially being on the court while you guys are waiting for Lee to return.
He always say the right thing. He's not going to lie to you. He's going to tell you the truth. Anybody, whoever it is, he's going to call you out if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And half of the time it's just motivating. So everybody loves Lance.
And of course, real quick, who are you listening to on your pregame playlist?
I was actually listening to a podcast today. Serial. The serial killer. It's crazy. I finished the first season today, so that's what I was listening to before the game. I wasn't listening to music. which is weird, right?
No, it's not weird. I listen to the Joe Budden podcast all the time.
It got me focused, though. I feel like I'm listening and I'm locked in. So that's what I'm listening to. Yeah. Thank you.
When it comes to the NBA and maybe sports in general, the term building momentum is kind of tossed around maybe a little bit more freely than it should be. But I got a chance to hear from six-year NBA player Tim Hardaway Jr. on how the Knicks are really going to be able to capitalize on their win against the Mavs. You know, basketball, it's obviously a game of runs. With the way the Mavs close out that second quarter, just talk about the intensity you guys brought during the third.
Our job just going into the third is always to let the opponent call the first timeout. And we did that today with just buckling down on the defensive end, getting out in transition. But it starts with the halftime, warm-ups. Lance Thomas does a great job of just make sure everybody's out there on warm-ups, getting warm, getting a nice lather going. So we're ready to start the third quarter just like we end the second.
Talk about how important his voice is, Lance, particularly as a vet.
Yeah, just he's the oldest guy on the floor for us right now while Courtney Lee is out. So everybody, when he's talking, everybody listens. No one says a word, and he plays with so much passion and energy and focus that it rubs off on everybody on the team. And just his leadership, alone, helps us out. So while he's out there, he makes everybody's job a lot easier, and it makes everybody raise up to his level on defense.
It's a phrase that's pretty much thrown out there a lot, but how do you guys kind of capitalize on that for your next game against Washington?
Yeah, just making sure that we see what we did today, which was move the ball on offense, got a lot of assists, took care of the basketball on the offensive end, and made sure we were organized on that end of the floor. So once we limit fast break points, set up our half-court defense, I think it's kind of hard to score on us as a ball club.
As you heard Tim Hardaway Jr. say, he is very well aware of the role that Lance Thomas is playing as a veteran on their Knicks roster. But he himself is in a new position this season.
Yeah, it's a new role for Tim. Last year, the offense revolved around Kristaps Porzingis, who many think he's out for the year with a torn ACL. So it's a new role for Tim. He's coming in. Obviously, it's a new coach, so the offense is running through him. He's getting up a lot of shots. He's averaging a career high in points per game. And the Knicks have actually played well. This is their third game since they've made a lineup change. They moved Ilikina to the point guard, and then they brought in Mitchell Robinson to replace Cantor at center. So the first game, they played the Golden State Warriors tough. They were leading the game into the fourth quarter until Kevin Durant had a crazy 25-point fourth quarter. And then the game in Indiana before coming here came down to the last few plays.
Nick's biggest lead has been 14. Nick's working around. Moutier hooks it up and knocks it down. Moutier into the paint on the fade. He's hit his last two.
This was an important game for you, obviously. I mean, it's been tough to start the season with the injury and coming back and putting together a performance like you did tonight where you were able to run this team. What did that mean for you as you get back into this one?
Man, my teammates are great. The fact that they just, supported me throughout the whole injury. I was a little bummed out, but because, I felt like I was out for about 3 months. But and just watching them, going to war and stuff every night, it was kind of tough. But I just try to stay in good spirits and just try to help the team as much as I could from just watching. But they were great, and the fact that they supported me throughout here, and my first game was at home, so it was good too.
Finishing the game with just under 16 minutes, 6 points, +5 in the plus and minus, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Emmanuel Mudiay was pretty active on the court tonight.
Yeah, it was good to see him back on the court. This is his first game. He mentioned it feels like he hadn't played in months. What better opportunity to make your first game of the season here at home in Dallas? He's a Dallas kid. So it's just good to see him back out healthy. It's a big year for him. He's a free agent coming up this summer. So I definitely know that he's looking to prove himself so he can, get in the best situation for next season.
Absolutely. And anytime he comes to Dallas, we definitely heard the cheers for you, Emmanuel. Tonight, Real Talk Sports is doing a special rookie highlight without the rookie. We're going to talk about Alonzo of the Knicks, who was the leading scorer for the Knicks tonight, finishing the game with 23 points and a special stat, 6 out of 7 from the free throw line as a rookie. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Alonzo's in a great situation. He was undrafted. He's on a 2-way deal. It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do with him once the 45-day window is closed when they have to make a decision on whether or not they want to keep him and sign him to a regular contract or keep him on a two-way deal. But the Knicks found a steal. I mean, his guy was undrafted. They sent a contract out to him. I believe the night of the draft, he showed out in summer league, and then he's come in and he's actually cracked the rotation, which is rare for a rookie to come in and make the rotation undrafted. But he's playing valuable minutes, and tonight he played well. I mean, his nickname is ISO Zoe, and so when he got in the game, the Knicks clearly just let him play to his strengths. He played ISO the whole fourth quarter. It just looked like they ran a small ball lineup. Whenever he got a favorable matchup, he just attacked it, played one-on-one. Either he got a bucket, drew a foul, or it led to something good for the Knicks. So I know they have to be pleased. And also Mitchell Robinson. I mean, he definitely had the highlight of the game with the reverse alley-oop. The Knicks should be proud of their future. I mean, their young guys are playing well, and you got to give a shout out to their scouts. They got two guys. They got Robinson in the second round. Trier was undrafted, and those guys look like they're going to be able to play a valuable role in the Knicks rebuilding.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. One thing I love with players, but young players in particular, is when they come in hungry and they have that chip on their shoulder, so to speak. Another undrafted player was Anthony Morrow, who the Dallas Mavericks have had. OKC was his last team, and he came in the game breaking stats, doing things that the other rookies, his rookies during his rookie season weren't doing. Because that's what you do when you have something that you want to prove, or you're just hungry for the game that you love to play anyway. So I really do appreciate young guys that are out there getting it no matter what their draft status was, no matter what the situation they're in, but they're making the most of their opportunities, and you have to respect that.
Yogi Ferrell is another example.
Mm-hmm.
Came in and, I think he was in with the Long Island Nets when the Mavs called him up. He came in, got his opportunity, made the most of it, and then now he's in Sacramento playing pretty well.
Yes, we definitely still, I definitely still say Yogi whenever I'm watching him on Sacramento. Yogi, we see you doing your thing, man. Real Talk Sports is definitely going to get you up with another highlight when Sac comes to town. All right, so now let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks, who, like we said earlier, are 2-7 to start this NBA season. Still early, but their next opponent is a dangerous team because it's the Washington Wizards, who are 1-7 to start their NBA season. And you can't look at someone's record and think, oh, it's going to be an easy win for the Mavs. A desperate team is a dangerous team, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say the Wiz, you would think they're dangerous and hungry, but the way they look tonight, I watched a little bit of the game during the Mavs game, and at one point I want to say they were down by like 28 points. So we don't know when they come in here on Tuesday if they're going to have a new coach or not. I mean, there's a lot of speculation that Scott Brooks is on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. And then, I've also seen reports that he's safe and they're waiting on Dwight Howard to come back. But, 1-7, there was some questions about chemistry in the locker room heading into the season. So they're definitely looking to come in here to get a win. But I believe they play the Knicks before they come here. So, we don't know what to expect. We don't know if Washington's going to make a trade or a coaching change before they come in. But for the Mavs, if there's a team you want to see on the schedule, it's probably the Washington Wizards, the way they've been getting blown out this year.
One thing I do know is that the Mavs fans need to be in this American Airlines Center on Tuesday when the Wizards come to town to cheer them on, to get some energy behind them. The Mavs are not far off from having a better record. A lot of our games have kind of come down to that fourth quarter stretch. We know basketball is a game of runs, and you have to put together a great 48-minute game, and that's hard to do. But the Mavs, I have faith. I think they can get to that point. Like I said, it's still early, but the Mavs fans, if you guys bring that energy, maybe we can get it done on Tuesday. But if you want to be in the arena yourself, all you have to do is make sure you're following both of us on social media, and you can be our next Real Talk Sports ticket winners to the game on Tuesday, or maybe even another game. I don't know if we'll get you onto the court to where you can feel somebody sweat, but we'll definitely get you in the building. So make sure you guys are following us. And until then, I'm Valencia King alongside
Rafael Barlowe.
And this is Real Talk Sports.